funeral is about to begin, sir.
I think we just picked up Dracula. It's got a death curse.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Welcome back to another episode of Never Not Horror Quick Cuts. I'm Steve Clark.
And I am Rich Hansel.
And we are back with another entry in the Horror by the Decade series. And this time around, we're looking at the 1950s.
Oh, yeah.
Going back. So what we only got, I guess we can do the 20s, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull 13.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll just be
hard.
Maybe it'll just be
a list of ones we like.
Where we're at, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe just a discussion of the 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe. But, so with that in mind, there's really probably only going to be two more lists after this, the 40s and the 30s.
Yeah.
Now, I have some ideas that I think will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw it in here live. I think it would be fun to take, once we're done with this series, to go back through and we each take, say, the top 2 from every decade and make our top 13 out of those movies.
Oh, that would be fun.
And then we could we could do that, and then we could also do Horror by the decade ranking, where we rank the decades.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So,
yeah.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
So, that's what we're doing today. We're going to go through our top 13 horror movies from the 50s. We'll get into that here shortly. But as is always, we like to open quick cuts, talking a little bit about what we've been into lately. Since Rich just walked through Christmas Evil, which I should mention again, it's Christmas time. So, we're not theming quick cuts on Christmas, but our deep dive reviews, both of them for December, are going to be Christmas movies, Christmas horror movies. So we just did Christmas Evil, a fun little ditty I'd never seen. And so next time we'll be doing my pick of a Christmas movie, which I'll tell you at the end what that's going to be. So I'll kick us off since you did the walkthrough a little bit ago. What have I been into? So I watched a movie. Now, I don't know if you... I know you're not on social media as much as, and I'm not on a shit ton, but you're probably on it less than I am. But I posted on our Never Not Horror page. I don't know if you knew this or not, because no one did. It shadow dropped. And if you're not familiar with shadow dropping, it's when something comes out, a movie, music, video game, whatever, with no advertisement whatsoever. It's just, surprise, it's out now. Unannounced, just all of a sudden, bam, it's available on Amazon Prime and Apple to rent. Horror in the High Desert 4 Majesty is out.
Hell yes, I need to see it.
I rented it the day I saw that it was released. I rented it and watched it. And it's good. If you like the other, it just keeps building on the lore of all this stuff is tying together. The first 2 at least kind of. They're sort of like separate stories, but they have ties. There's some overarching thing that's going on here. But if you haven't seen any of these, strongly recommend it.
Oh, I do too.
I told Rich about it.
Oh, and I loved it right away.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How is this not in theaters?
It's like mockumentary found footage stuff, but
so good.
Yeah. The first 2 are on Tubi, so you can watch them totally free, and that'll get you in the door. The third one and now the fourth one you can rent on Amazon
and
Prime.
You will, trust me, you will want to after you watch the first 2. You'll want to buy the next 2.
Yeah. I think if you put me to now that I've watched the fourth one, I still think part 2 Minerva is probably my favorite of the 4. That was my favorite.
Was that the one where the girl got caught in the car?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that was good.
It was 2 sections. It was the girl that was in the trailer and then the girl in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Minerva, the second one. But they're all good. It's kind of slow burn, but a lot of good lore building, eerie setting. It's really good stuff. So if you haven't checked out the first 3, Horror in the High Desert movies, definitely check them out. Like I said, 1 and 2 are free on Tubi. You won't regret it if you're into found footage. It's really good stuff. And then, so Horror in the High Desert. Part 2 is Minerva. Part 3 is Firewatch, I believe. And then Part 4 is Majesty. And then they even tease Part 5 at the end of Part 4.
Oh, sweet.
Part 5 is called Mantis.
Okay.
And, so, yeah, definitely go check those out. And let's see, what else? I finished an audiobook based on a recommendation from Rich. I listened to Nat Cassidy's When the Wolf Comes Home. Really good book. I really enjoyed it. It's starts, I don't know if I want to say, I don't want to risk spoiling anything, but it's a werewolf book, but it does not go where you think it's going to go at all. Like, I'll talk, Rich and I'll talk to you more when we're not recording spoiler stuff, because this book did not go where I thought it was going, and I'm sure it didn't for you either.
No.
Yeah, so.
And there's no like lull in the book. It's
not,
go.
Yeah, it was. I was almost startled at how quickly shit hits the fan. Like, it's like, oh, we're setting up. It's like you're easing in for a little bit of character building, and then it's like, oh shit, people are dying. yeah. But really good book. That was the first Nat Cassidy book I had read. Like I said, when Rich brought it up the first time, I was aware of him, but I had not read him. So I'm definitely going to check out more of his stuff. So definitely recommend Nat Cassidy's When the Wolf Comes Home. And let's see, I feel like I had one other thing. Oh yeah, I picked up, so last Quick Cuts we talked about, or no, it was on the Dawn of the Dead deep dive. We talked about novelizations, because there's a book version of Dawn of the Dead, a novelization that came out later. I picked up, it was a Cyber Monday deal. It was on sale on Amazon. The novelization of Night of the Living Dead in hardback for like $15.
Nice.
It's written by John Russo, who co-wrote the script with George Romero of the original movie. So cool cover. I mean, the covers, it's classic Night of the Living Dead. It's got an intro from George Romero that was written back when the book first came out, and an intro from Simon Pegg from Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, cool.
He writes an intro about it too. And I've read a little bit of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it turns out John Russo has written a lot of books, like a lot of zombie books. He wrote, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole here. Like, he wrote the novelization of Night of the Living Dead. The movie came out in 68, like 69, 70. He wrote the novelization. And then he wrote a sequel called Return of the Living Dead, but before the movie Return of the Living Dead. And then, so it's not like the movie.
Yeah.
But then he also wrote the novelization of Return of the Living Dead. So, because
really?
he was involved in that movie too.
Yeah.
So, but he's written a bunch. He does what I do. Like, he does a lot. From what I could tell, it looks like a lot of indie publishing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a shit ton of books. So far, the Night of the Living Dead book, the writing's a little. I probably could have used some editing here.
Yeah.
But much respect to the source material, and
Yeah.
I mean he did co-write the movie. That is an all-timer. So yeah, I picked that up. But other than that, I have been cramming 50s horror movies to round out my list, and excited to get into that here shortly. So, Rich, what about you? What have you been into?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of 50s horror movies. I've seen a lot of them. Some of them I needed to get a refresher on, but there was a few that I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. A couple I stopped halfway through even. But for the most part, good movies from the 50s. On the YouTube channel, been unboxing some Christmas figures. The Krampus. I've unboxed a couple Krampuses. Other than that, I did buy the King Sorrow book by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. I have not started it. Last night, I did listen to one of my favorite ghost stories of all time. Probably not my favorite, but maybe my second favorite ghost story of all time. And I listened to it on a it was a YouTube channel, and it was a copy of the Columbia Broadcasting Systems, which is CBS, and it was their radio broadcast from 1938 of A Christmas Carol. Like one of my favorite ghost stories of all time, believe it or not. I absolutely love it. But it was narrated, of course, by Orson Welles, and there was the guy that played Ebenezer Scrooge was somebody that must have been really famous at the time because Orson Welles was talking him up big time, how it was such a big deal and great to work with this guy. But
was it Bill Murray?
But of course, this was, it was a voice actors, and there was different actors. It just wasn't a reading of it.
Right. It was like almost a drama, like a audio drama.
Yes, exactly. But it was really good, and it's kind of fun to listen to it and think. Like I was thinking of, my grandpa was born in 1921, so he would have been about 17 years old when he listened to this exact thing that I'm listening to now.
Wild.
So it was kind of cool.
Wow.
Thinking about how the older people probably listened to this, because that was the thing you did. There was no TV. You listened to the radio.
Right.
But that was a really good reading. I recommend it. I don't know what YouTube channel it was, but if you just put CBS reading of Christmas Story, I'm sure it'll pop up.
Yep.
Other than that, not a whole bunch has been going on with me as far as horror stuff.
All right. Well, before we launch into our list here of the 50s, I feel it necessary, because this was something that I took away from my list and from watching some other movies. I feel like it's noteworthy to talk about with the 50s is more so than any decade up until now. I think the question of what is horror really applies to the 50s, because
it does.
The 50s is, and I'll say now, like in a potential spoiler of the list, like there was a shit ton of like atomic monster kind of stuff.
Just come off of World War II,
right?
Atomic bombs,
like giant bugs and all that shit.
Mutated bugs, right? And sci-fi stuff.
Sci-fi horror-ish really dominated the scene, and I haven't seen much of that, so not much of that made my list. But just kind of putting in perspective the time, like we've talked a little bit about how like thriller and murder mystery, like how that's horror adjacent. But as you go back into the 40s, 50s and 40s and 30s even, I feel like that separation doesn't apply as much. Like this isn't 50s, I don't believe. I know it's not. I think it might be 40s, but like The Telltale Heart, like it's just a murder psychological thing, but that's a horror movie. Yeah. So I think the definition of what is horror gets a little loose, particularly from like the 50s back.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right.
So there are movies that if they came out today, and it kind of food for thought, it made me think, because in previous episode, like the 90s, you had Silence of the Lambs really high. And I made my stance that I don't think that's a horror movie. I think it's a thriller. But from the lens of the 50s, it's absolutely a horror movie. Like that kind of content, 100% is a horror movie. So I don't know. It's just different. Like
it is different.
So, but it was just something I thought was interesting. So
it is interesting. It is. I mean, sci-fi. That is almost a whole genre by itself. I mean,
yes,
but
to where like sci-fi horror, when you say that, I think Event Horizon or even The Thing or something like that. To where the 50s, 40s, like giant bug movies, like at the time that was horror, but now if that was released today, it would be like a sci-fi movie. But I think just relevant to the time, it definitely counts as a horror movie.
Yeah.
So just something to think about. Like it struck me as noteworthy to bring up, because as you go, I mean, and it's just a different time. I mean, 70 years ago. So it's just a whole different thing. But my takeaway from the 50s, and I think I think we'll see that as we go into the 40s and the 30s.
Yeah. For sure.
A much more loose definition of horror.
Yeah.
And I even kind of call it that, like when I talk about my writing, because sometimes some of my books I don't feel like are necessarily horror, like The Doors of Chamberlain. I don't know that I consider that a horror book. It's more of like a dark fantasy fiction thing, like dark fiction or something.
Yeah.
But just a genre interpretation, I guess.
Right.
So. All right. Well, on that note, we'll stop teasing it and we'll go ahead and get into our top 13 horror movies from the 50s. We'll do honorable mentions at the end. In my case, similar to the 60s, it's a lot of movies that I just kind of... This one, actually, this wasn't as bad as the 60s for me. Like, I had seen more 50s ones.
Yeah.
I still did need to watch some to fill out my list, but it wasn't like the 60s where I was like, I've seen like 8 movies.
Yeah.
So, but there are still definitely movies that I wanted to watch, I didn't get to. And so that's kind of what my honorable mentions will look like. But
yeah.
Do you recall who went first on the last ranking?
I don't.
I don't either. What was the last ranking? Oh, it was zombie movies. I went last because Dawn of the Dead was the last thing we talked about. So that means that you went first.
Okay.
So I will go first.
Yes.
All right. So, kicking it off, top 13 horror movies from the 1950s. My number 13 is from 1957, a movie called The Curse of the Demon. This is a movie, so I actually watched this maybe 2-3 months ago for the first time. This wasn't one that I grew up watching, but it wasn't one I watched this week prepping for the list. So I just coincidentally recently saw this. And it's good. Not great, but it's good. There's a whole scene where there's a dude dressed as a clown and there's like this windstorm. It's a kind of a strange movie. The demon is very 50s puppet looking thing. It's pretty, but it's interesting enough to keep you moving through. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I haven't seen enough movies from the 50s to have 13 that I loved.
Yeah. So
I don't have a ton to say about it, but it was good enough to make my list because there are movies that I saw that didn't make my list. So,
okay.
So my number 13 is Curse of the Demon from 1957.
All right. That brings me to my 13, and mine is going to be from 1954, and it is one that we talked about at the beginning, a kind of one of a radiation mutant ant. It is called Them, with the exclamation point at the end of it. Gordon Douglas directed and stars James Arness, who is going to pop up in another movie later on.
All right.
But James Arness from Gunsmoke, right? He was in Gunsmoke, the hero in that. And it's pretty much, it doesn't even show up until about halfway through the movie. There's some murders going on. The FBI's there to investigate, and they stumble onto what's actually killing people, and it is giant mutated ants out in the desert, and the army comes in and or the military, I'm not sure if it's the army, but the U.S. military comes in and has to try to defeat these mutant ants trying to take over the world, really. But it's good. It is really good.
Like I said before, a lot of those movies I haven't seen at all, so I have not seen that.
And I did read a little bit on it, and they actually did use World War II combat veterans as the soldiers in this movie with real ammunition. Well, their ammunition was flamethrowers, so they actually had the real the guys that used the flamethrowers in World War and the real actual weapons to burn up the ants, and it was pretty good special effects for 1954. But yeah, number 13 is Them from 1954. All right.
That brings me to number 12, and this is the first of 4 times that Vincent Price is going to hit my list.
Yes.
I'm curious to see where, I'm sure all 4 of these are going to be on your list too, but I'm curious to see where they fall. So my number 12 is coming from 1959. It is The Bat.
Nice.
The Bat. And this is one that I watched it last night, actually.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I had seen it, was last night. It's kind of a murder mystery.
It is.
Yeah. It plays to what I was saying earlier, how the definition of horror loosens up at this stage. But this is a murder mystery kind of story. Vincent Price plays this doctor, and there is a serial killer who calls himself the Bat, and he wears all black, like basically like a black stocking over his face, but he's got a glove on with bat claws, and there's this older lady that's a writer that's staying in this house. I mean, it's just this.
There's a lot of shit going on in this movie.
There is, but it's entertaining. It keeps you invested, and it definitely becomes a whodunit murder mystery. And they tease you this way and that way, and when you finally get to the reveal, which I did see coming, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. And like anything Vincent Price, he's sure sometimes it feels like he's playing the same character that he's been in 5 other movies, but I love that character.
I love it
so
too. It's
I don't care.
One of my favorite characters of all time.
So my number 12 is the Bat from 1959.
All right, my number 12 is going to be one that I texted you and asked you if you ever seen it, and I had never seen it. I think I put it on once and didn't get through the opening credits. I turned it off. I think I actually did turn it off because it had the talking head at the beginning.
Yeah.
You remember that scene? But it is Night of the Hunter, Charles Laughton film from 1955. Stars Robert Mitchum, the great Robert Mitchum. My God, I was scared watching this dude. He was a creep, man.
He does a hell of a job.
You're not used to seeing Robert Mitchum play the bad guy, but I guess you are. He does a couple bad guys. But, man, he is so good. He plays a kind of a crooked preacher. I don't even know if he's a preacher. I don't even think they say if he's a preacher. But
he claims to be.
Yeah, he's a crook, and he tries to get some money that some little boy has hidden away that his dad, before he went to jail, gave it to him, and it is very good. It's again, it's on that cusp of being a thriller, but I'm telling you, this performance by Robert Mitchum was, I mean, just crazy. He does such a good job, and like when I was watching it, that's when I texted you. I was like, holy shit, I'm watching a fucked up movie right now with Robert Mitchum, and he is awesome. And you had mentioned that you had seen it.
I watched it last night.
Oh, man, so good. I highly recommend The Night of the... And you don't have to be... if you're not a horror fan, still watch this movie.
Yeah.
You can watch it without being a horror fan.
Oh, yeah.
Really good, but that is my number 12, The Night of the Hunter, 1955.
Well, funny you say that, because my number 11 is Night of the Hunter from 1955.
I was wondering if he's going to put it on your list.
Yeah. Rich texted me today that he was watching, and I was like, I watched it last night. And same thing, like, I was a fan of the show. Todd, a friend of mine, he was texting me about, because he's in the loop of what we're working on, so he's been watching 50s movies too for his list. And I mentioned that I was watching it, and I was in the middle of watching it, and I text him, it's like, it's more of like a thriller than a horror movie, but then you get to a scene where it's like, okay, I see where this turns horror, because it's the scene where the kid's mom, he's put her in the lake. Yeah. I mean, it's this. He does a hell of a job playing like just a creep, like manipulative.
Oh man,
yeah,
he does a good job.
I mean, tormenting these kids, and they're on the run from him. And, it's really good stuff. So. Yeah, I agree. This was another one that I saw for the first time less than 24 hours ago, and I really liked it. So, yeah, number 11 for me is Night of the Hunter, 1955.
All right, that brings me to my number 11, and it is one that's been on your list already, and it is The Bat, 1959, directed by Crane Wilbur. I mentioned, like, when you was giving your rundown of it, how there's a lot of shit going on. It even has the bank, the $1 million missing from the bank.
I forgot to mention
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on.
It's a heist movie.
It is. Yeah. But, yeah, Vincent Price just so awesome. Like, I've said it 100 times. I could listen to him read the phone book. Absolutely could. And enjoy it. But, yeah, number 11 is 1959's The Bat.
All right. All right, that brings me to number 10, and my number 10 is from 1954. It is the OG Japanese Godzilla.
Woo! Nice.
Not the American version, the Japanese version. I saw this. I've only seen it one time, but I saw it. It's probably been a couple years ago, and I was really impressed with it. Like, considering the time, the effects of Godzilla when he's attacking the city. Obviously, it's models and a puppet, but it looks pretty cool.
It does.
And, like, the character stuff is good. Like, the dialogue feels good. Even though you're reading it, it's subtitled. But I liked it. I mean, and I admittedly have not seen a ton of Godzilla movies. Not even very many at all.
And there was a couple that is, a lot from the 50s. Rodan and a few others.
Yeah, I mean, a buddy of mine, Matt Wilderson, who does all my cover art, fellow author, he is a huge Godzilla fan, seen tons of them. So I know, like, there are people who just are Godzilla fans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely love
it. And I just never really got into it, and I haven't seen that many, but the original Japanese Godzilla is solid. I like the way they end it. Like, I know the science doesn't really work, but it makes enough sense to make it plausible the way they take him down at the end. And as far as just your giant monsters go, Godzilla is up. King Kong and Godzilla are your 1 and 2, and I really like the OG. So that's my number 10, Godzilla from 1954.
Nice. All right, that brings me to my number 10, and it is from 1959, a William Castle directed movie. It is The Tingler.
All right.
Another Vincent Price movie. This one, if I told you the synopsis of it, you would say there is no fucking way I'm going to watch that movie. And trust me, I did it to Tina, but I forced her to watch it, and guess what?
She liked it?
She liked it. So when I talk about what this movie's about, you're going to be like, there's no way that can be good. But it has Vincent Price in it, and it's got to be good.
Lay out the plot for The Tingler.
All right, the plot of The Tingler is a doctor comes up with he discovers a parasite that will cause you to be afraid.
Yes.
And if you scream, this parasite will not kill you.
It'll weaken it, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's like fear is a parasite.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's a real little bug that's in you.
Yeah, it's a literal like caterpillar worm thing.
Yes. And if you can scream, you're going to be all right. And he's doing some tests, and he finds a lady that is a mute, and because he wants to see what happens if you can't scream. And, I mean, I know it sounds absurd.
Yeah.
But like I said, my wife's not even a horror fan. She don't like a lot of horror movies, but she actually sat and watched this whole thing. And I think she said that should have been the dumbest show I've ever seen, but I liked it. But yeah, so that is 1959. The Tingler is my number 10.
All right. Well, once again, funny you say that, because my number 9 is The Tingler from 1959. Same thing. It sound, even the title of the movie sounds dumb. The Tingler.
And
starring Vincent Price.
I did hear when they dropped that in theaters, they put buzzers under people's seats.
Yeah.
To get them to scream.
Yeah.
And people would freak out.
Because there's a scene in the movie where there's a movie theater scene, and like it was a William Castle thing where they put certain seats in the theater would buzz, and you were supposed to scream to stop the Tingler. But where else you didn't? I'm glad you didn't bring this up, because I was gonna, like, you talked about he studies this deaf mute because she can't scream to weaken the Tingler.
Yeah.
But he's trying to study this, but he's like, but I'm not afraid of anything. So he mega doses on LSD.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Yes.
He just get massive doses himself in acids. So that he'll be afraid. And it's just a bizarre movie. and this like the deaf mute's husband who's like actually there's a really cool scene because the movie's black and white, but there's a scene where there's a bathtub filled with blood and it's bright red and this it's looked cool. Like I really enjoyed it.
You shouldn't know,
it sounds dumb.
It does,
but once again it works.
Even when it's coming out of my mouth, I think nobody is going to watch this movie.
Right. Let me recommend The Tingler from 1959. But that's my number 9, so there you go. Number 2 for Vincent Price on the list.
Yeah. All right, that brings me to my number 9, and it is from 1958, and it is The Blob. And this is Irvin S. Yeaworth, directed, of course, stars the great Steve McQueen as a young man in this one. And him and his girlfriend, they are trying to convince the police that they witnessed the Blob kill some man, and they're trying to get the police to believe them that there is a blob going around eating everybody up, and as it's eating, it's growing. But definitely sci-fi, horror, thriller, but good acting. I think Steve McQueen does good as a young guy.
Yep.
Young actor, but I enjoy it. It's one that probably most people seen, and that there's been a lot of remakes, at least 2, I think.
I definitely saw the one in the late 80s, maybe, with, what was it, Matt Dillon?
Yeah. And then I think there was one in the late 70s also that was released, but
I feel like I heard maybe Rob Zombie was trying to do a Blob remake, but it fell through.
But yeah, it's a good movie, and I would recommend it. But yeah, 1958, The Blob is my number 9.
All right. Well, I swear we're not doing this on purpose, but my number 8 is The Blob from 1958. So far, we are really on point together.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Blob, I mean, like I said, I remember, I saw the I think it was like 88 or something, that one remake.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was 88.
But I saw that when I was younger, but I watched the original maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I enjoyed it. I mean, for a 50s movie, like the effects are pretty cool. Good acting.
But that 88 one, that's a really good remake.
It's not bad at all.
It may even be a little better. Maybe than the original.
But yeah, I mean, The Blob is solid. 58. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those, and I kind of feel the same way about it that I do about my next pick at number 7. Probably Richie's next pick too. But I mean, it's just an iconic sort of thing that really just fits the era, and it's just really well done, really well acted for the time. The effects are solid. So yeah, The Blob from 1958 is my number 8.
All right, that brings me into my number 8, and it is from 1959. This is going to be our first Terrence Fisher movie on my list, and it is The Mummy, 1959. Of course, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee.
Yep.
It's pretty much archaeologist team uncover a princess's tomb, and a mummy is trying to get revenge on anybody that messed with her her tomb.
Yep.
But very good. Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, you can't go wrong with those two. And Terrence Fisher, he gets the best out of those guys every single time. But so that's mine. 1959, The Mummy.
All right. So what was your 8?
That was my 8.
All right. So we are down to my number 7, and it is another movie that was later remade. And again, well, for sure in this one, the remake is even better. But my number 7 is Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956. This is based on the book by Jack Finney, The Body Snatchers. I saw the 70s version before I saw the original 50s version. And the 70s version was one of my favorite movies ever. Donald Sutherland.
I love Donald Sutherland.
Leonard Nimoy, Jeff Goldblum. It's so good. But the original's solid too. I mean, it tracks pretty close. I've read the book by Jack Finney also, but it tracks pretty well. I mean, it's that story, pod people like taking over town and alien invasion sort of thing, but I enjoy it, and I do prefer the 70s version. Just Donald Sutherland takes that all the way, but yeah, I do really like the original version. So my number 7 is 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
My number 7 is 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
All right.
Same as you. Don Siegel directed, starring Kevin McCarthy, who The Howling. Remember Kevin McCarthy in The Howling that we did a deep dive on?
Who was he in The Howling?
He was he the doc? Not the doc. No, he wasn't the doctor. He was just
like
one
the
of the
sheriff or something. Maybe?
No, he wasn't the sheriff. He was just one of the kooks, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the werewolves. But yeah, Kevin McCarthy, Dana Winter, doctor tried to stop aliens from taking over the body of human beings in the town. But really good movie. Like you said, the remake is really good too. You can't go wrong. I mean,
it ranked very high in my list of 70s movies.
Yeah, very, very good. So number 7 is same as yours, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
All right. I want to pause here for a second. So we are 13 through 7, and we have had 1, 2, 3. We've had 5 crossovers.
Wow.
In the first 7 picks.
Damn.
We've both
This has got to be the most.
Absolutely. We've had Body Snatchers, The Blob, The Tingler, Night of the Hunter, and The Bat, all in both of our lists through the top.
So I had 6. my off one was Them. What was your off one?
Curse of the Demon and Godzilla. Okay. So you had 2 off ones. What was your other one? The Mummy.
The Mummy, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are to number 6. My number 6. And this one I can explain myself, but this one might raise an eyebrow for you. My number 6 is what is, I guess, considered the OG Hammer horror, Curse of Frankenstein from 1957 is my number 6.
Nice.
Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. I really like it. Like from where we are now, number 6 on, I really like every movie on this list.
Mine's going to be the same. Yeah.
I really like it. It was the first Hammer horror movie I had ever watched, and not that long ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I'd heard all my life about Hammer horror, but I'd never seen any of it.
Yeah. So
I finally watched Curse of Frankenstein, Horror of Dracula, and The Mummy. But Curse of Frankenstein was the first one I watched. I was familiar with the sort of like a still frame photograph of when they shoot Frankenstein in the head and you get the bright red blood running down. So I knew it. And I knew it was different from Universal Dracula with just the way he looks. He looks much more like a corpse.
Yeah.
Not to say that Boris Karloff didn't.
Yeah.
But Christopher Lee as Frankenstein's monster looks pretty gnarly. Mm-hmm. But really great acting as the monster. Peter Cushing as Victor Frankenstein is just...
He's lights out.
Yeah. I mean, he is devious as shit. Like, and pretty deep contrast from like what he is in Horror of Dracula as Van Helsing. Like, I mean, he's not a good guy in this movie. So really, really good. And like I said, from here on out, I highly recommend every movie on this list. But yeah, my number 6 is Curse of Frankenstein, 1957.
Nice. All right, my number 6, this might come to a surprise, but it is 1957's The Curse of Frankenstein.
Oh man, we are on point.
We are. Again, Terrence. This is my second Terrence Fisher movie off this list. Of course, like Steve said, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Dr. Frankenstein creating a monster from dead bodies. Like you said, Peter Cushing is so good in this. He is so obsessed with making this monster that it leads him to kill somebody. Pushes that guy off the
smart guy, the professor.
Oh,
yeah,
he's so good at it.
And he covers his track like he's like, Professor, look out, and he shoves him off the the railing.
Oh, it's so good. He is so off. Peter Cushing, we talked about it when we did the Horror of Dracula, how these guys are absolute professionals. They were born to be actors.
Yep.
Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, especially in this movie, Peter Cushing. Christopher Lee does a great job, but and Frankenstein isn't really like we remember Frankenstein from like Universal Monsters.
Right.
He's more of a victim, really, of the circumstances. But very, very good movie. I absolutely love it. It's right there with. I mean, there's always the debate: what do you like better, the Hammer films or the Universal Monster films? And and there's a reason why there's a debate, because these Hammer films
are solid.
If you have not got into Hammer horror, you absolutely need to, because it is so good. And the acting is just it's crazy good.
Yep, I agree.
So my number 6 is the same as yours: Curse of Frankenstein, 1957.
All right. We are to the top 5. All right. 5 great movies. My number 5 is not going to be a repeat because you already had it on your list, so you're not going to have the same 5 as me.
Okay.
My number 5 is The Mummy from 1959. Nice. And that's where I was that's what I was saying, that maybe it would ruffle feathers, because I like this more than Curse of Frankenstein. My explanation for that is I have always, since I was a little kid, I've been fascinated with like Egyptian history and mummies and shit. So just like and we haven't got there yet, and we haven't really talked much, but I really like the Universal Mummy movie because of the same thing, for the same reason. Like, I just love that, like the mystery and this mysticism of Egyptology and all that. So, but, and just again, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, doing an excellent job. Christopher Lee's just a great monster.
Yes.
When he comes out of the swamp, just the bog mummy, he looks gnarly. And then you get a totally different Peter Cushing than you do from Frankenstein. Like, I mean, he's a straight character in this one. He's really good. Probably swayed by my fascination with Egyptian history. But because of that, I bump it a little bit ahead of. And this was when I was doing my ranking. But deciding between Curse of Frankenstein and The Mummy was the hardest decision. Like, they were right there together. Like, that was the one I just sat and stared at it. It's like, fuck, I don't know which one do I like better. And if you put me to it, which one do you want to watch more often? I would want to watch The Mummy more. So, my number 5 is The Mummy from 1959.
All right, that brings me to my number 5, and it is a 1958 Kurt Newman movie. It is The Fly.
All right,
which stars Vincent Price, but he's not the star. He's not. He's kind of a secondary actor in it, but it is pretty much a movie where a scientist is trying to develop transportation, just like the movie with Jeff Goldblum. I mean, that is a remake, but he's doing transportation.
You mean teleportation?
I'm saying transportation. Teleportation. My gosh. Teleportation, yeah, and he's in a pod, and the fly gets in there, and he kind of mutates into parts of the fly. But there is a little bit of a twist to this one, and Vincent Price plays his brother, so he's not the guy that turns into the fly. But still, he's one of the main characters, but not the main character. And the scientist's wife is along with this. They kind of planned his death, but he didn't really die because they're trying to work out some the teleportation deal. It's just a really good, twisted movie. I don't know. Have you seen The Fly?
I have not. I was going to wait till you were done.
Okay.
I've seen the Jeff Goldblum film, The Fly, but I've not seen the original.
I will take the original over the Jeff Goldblum, and I love the Jeff Goldblum one. This one has a little more twist to it. Not as much as a love story as the Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis one, but man, it is a good movie. I highly, highly recommend it, but it is 1958, The Fly. That is my number 5.
The main reason that I didn't watch it prepping for this is because it's not streaming on anything for free. You got to rent it. And I was looking for free. So.
Yeah.
But it's not on anything. And I ran out of time. But so yeah, that would make my honorable mentions of ones I want to watch, but I just haven't seen yet. number 4. Once again, Mr. Vincent Price makes my list. This was one I had not seen until this week. I had seen the remake and didn't like it that very much because it was super 90s. But my number 4 is House of Wax from 1953.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, similar to Spider Baby in the 60s, like, it was a movie I saw for the first time and it made it up to number 4 on my list.
Yeah.
Like, I really like this movie. Vincent Price is so good. The scene, I mean, this movie is 70, 80 years old, whatever. The scene where the girl starts beating on his face and his face crumples off and he's that mangled, burn-up dude that you've been seeing stalking around. Like, I mean, you already knew it was him, but then when you see his face fall off and it was wax, man, so good. I mean, this was my biggest surprise of, like, my top 3 were movies I'd seen before.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this was my biggest surprise of the 50s. Like, when I finally watched, I knew of it, and then I finally watched it, and it's like, oh my God, this is great. Like, adored this movie. So, yeah. Number 4 is House of Wax from 1953.
All right, that brings me to my number 4, and it is a Universal Monsters. It is The Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954.
Yep.
Jack Arnold directed, stars Julie Adams, Richard Carlson, Richard Denning. Scientists discover this humanoid lake monster, I guess, or river monster.
Yep.
And it's a very good movie, very good acted. Julie Adams makes the movie probably.
Yeah.
I think she does such a good job. Her screams in it are great. I don't know why I love women screaming. I rate my horror movies on the woman's how good can you scream?
She's good.
And she does such a good job. But yeah, just a absolutely phenomenal movie. You're in it 100% of the time. There's no slow part, and just a absolute classic. And and when you think of Universal Monsters, you think of the 30s, and for them to be able to
this is late,
yes, come in 1954 and say, hey, do a horror movie. And they come up with this, and just solid gold, man, right there with your Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman,
right?
Just awesome stuff,
right? It's one of the the big 4, big 5,
yeah. So that's my number 4 is Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Now, I know from previous episodes, there's something you don't like about this movie.
Oh, my God.
Could you do it for me?
I can't.
You've done it
How's
before.
It good? I have. I can't remember.
If I recall correctly.
I can't. It's
like the noise that it makes whenever they show
the creature.
Yeah, and it's like.
Yeah, it's not good at all. And now some people do love it.
Yeah.
And it was highly regarded back in the day. People loved that about it.
Yeah.
But man, for me, it just doesn't do it. I wish they would have come up with something different. And this is also one, I do love The Creature from the Black Lagoon, but of all of them, I think this is, and it hasn't really got, I mean, I guess Benicio Guillermo did it. He did The Shape of Water.
Benicio del Toro. Benicio Guillermo. Yeah, I mean, they're both Del Toros. The Shape of Water. Yeah. Was that Guillermo del Toro?
Guillermo, yes.
I've never seen it, but
I have not neither.
I've heard that it is sort of.
I don't understand why The Creature from the Black Lagoon hasn't got the love of remakes as the rest of them has.
That's true.
But yeah, that is my number.
It's a conversation for another day, but like I know whether 2 sequels, Universal sequels.
Yeah, The Creature Walks Amongst Us.
Yeah. I've never seen any sequel.
I haven't either.
I've never seen any sequel of any Universal monster movie.
Okay.
Including The Bride of Frankenstein. I've never seen.
Okay.
Which I will be when we get to the 30s week, because I know it needs to be. But all right.
Yeah, that's my number 4, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
All right. Top 3. My number 3 is a movie that we did a deep dive of not too long ago. It is from 1958, The Horror of Dracula. Again, I mean, for me personally, I prefer the Horror of Dracula over the Universal Dracula. Mm-hmm. I love both movies, but I think Horror of Dracula is a better movie.
Yeah.
Again, the third time Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are on the list. Like, they're magic together.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. I mean, I love it. Probably current state, because I don't know that I would prefer it over, but I have not seen Bram Stoker's Dracula from the 90s. I've heard good things about that.
You will like that.
I'm sure I will. But current state, my favorite version of Dracula in a movie is Horror of Dracula.
And I think, knowing you, I think that will still be your favorite Dracula, right. Horror of Dracula.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, if you want more details on what I think of Horror of Dracula, go back to Never Not Horror a couple episodes ago and check that out. But for now, my number 3 is Horror of Dracula from 1958. And that comes in of the big 3... Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Mummy of Hammer horror.
Fisher,
yeah, that's the one I rate the highest.
All right. That brings me to my number 3, and it is 1959. This is my second William Castle movie, and it is starring Vincent Price, and it is House on Haunted Hill.
Yep.
Movie that is a go-to for me if I'm trying to fall asleep. I put it on, and normally it's like a lullaby for me. I love it. I love listening to Vincent Price. It's very, very good. When I was a young person, probably in my 20s, the first time I ever saw this, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. And I think one of the main reasons was I wasn't a huge Vincent Price fan yet. But as now obviously it's a number 3, and if we did a deep dive on it, it would be a 5-star movie or a 5-howl movie. I'll say it right now, but I love it. The lady that plays his wife is so good, and they clash together. She's beautiful, and it's just watching them two work together. I love the scene where he gives her the gun. It don't have bullets in it. I love it. But, number 3 is House on Haunted Hill.
How do you feel about the remake from the 99?
Hated it.
I think a lot of people hated it.
Yeah. I think my wife kind of liked it a little bit.
I didn't hate it.
I hated it.
I certainly hold no candles to the original, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
All right. So we are down to the top 2.
Yes. I got a feeling that my number 2 is not on your list.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 2 is already been on your list, and it is The Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954. This was of all the Universal monsters, this was probably the one that I most recently saw for the first time 4 or 5 years ago. And obviously I'd been aware of it forever. I'd always known about it, but I never really watched the movie. I think it being from 1954 makes it stand out a little bit from the others because it's just camera quality.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks a lot sharper than the others do.
Yeah.
But
God, the costume for that.
Oh, yeah. Just the Gill Man.
There is no way I would ever think that was 1954.
Yeah, it looks so good.
It does. It's amazing.
All the underwater shots where he's like in the weeds and he's just standing there watching the girl swim around. And it looks so good. I mean, someday there will be a Quick Cuts, I'm sure, where we'll talk Universal Horror and rank our favorites. But Creature from the Black Lagoon ranks very high for me. Yeah. I really enjoy this movie. Obviously, it made it my number 2 on my list of the 50s. It's just rock solid. So good. So yeah, number 2, Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954.
All right, that brings me to my number 2, and this is the one I just don't think it's going to be on your list, but for me, this is a time and a place movie. I've often mentioned the Laserdisc player I had when I was a kid, and we had this movie, and I watched it all the time. I absolutely loved it, and it is 1951's The Thing from Another World. Very good movie. Christian Nyby directed. Kenneth Tobey and Margaret Sheridan. I mean, smoke show. Yeah. The Thing from Another World is just so good. And this is definitely going to be a deep dive soon, I think. When it comes to my pick and we get out of these holiday seasons, because this is one that I can watch all the time. And again, this is our other James Arness movie that I mentioned. He was in Them, so he was in my 13th favorite 50s, and he's in my number 2 favorite movies. And just, he plays the Thing, the monster, so, but just so good. It's some scientists that discover a UFO and an alien-like creature in the Arctic, and that whole scene is just so good. And it is funny, too. So it does have a lot of funny scenes in it. So I think it's kind of a comedy horror, really. And sci-fi comedy horror, but just such a good movie. I can watch it anytime. It doesn't have to be near Halloween. It doesn't have to be... Absolutely anytime I can watch this movie and absolutely smile the whole way through it. Just enjoy every single bit of this movie. So my number 2 is The Thing from Another World, 1951.
All right. And that brings me to number 1. My number 1 favorite horror movie from the 1950s. It has been on your list at some point. And it is going to be 1959 House on Haunted Hill.
Yes.
This 100% a comfort movie for me.
Oh.
Like, same as you. Like, I could go to sleep watching this. Like, Vincent Price is great. What's the dude, the other guy, not the doctor, like the guy that was there before.
Yeah, his parents own the house. His relation. I can't remember that guy's name, but he's a famous actor. He was even in. Was he in that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie? Wasn't he? Was it called Double Impact? Wasn't he their trainer? Wasn't he his trainer?
I don't know. He might have been. I mean, that's way later, but
yeah,
I should look into that.
Sure that was him.
That was Was that the Van Damme and Dennis Rodman movie?
No, it was the Van Damme where he played
himself 2 times.
He was twins.
What was the Dennis Rodman one?
I don't know.
I watched a lot of Van Damme.
Maybe he was in it. He could have been.
No, there was. It was like double something, maybe. But anyway, yeah. I mean, just the campiness of it. William Castle, just the end, like when you see the floating head, and it's like they're coming for you too, and it's just so good.
Yeah, Carol Omart is awesome as playing his wife. Man, she is just so devious.
Yes, yeah, and you got the innocent girl and like the double timing doctor. I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, it's cheesy as all hell, but I love it. Like it's just.
And this is loosely based off the Shirley Jackson.
Yes,
right.
Loosely.
Right. I mean, you got the same premise. A rich guy wants to get.
I mean, it's like inspired by almost, but doing this podcast has really particularly this series, The Horror by the Decades, has really opened my eyes to more Vincent Price stuff because. Prior to this, I knew House on Haunted Hill, and I knew The Last Man on Earth and the Thriller video.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there wasn't a ton of other stuff that I'd seen. I just knew, like, he was a legend. But this is, to me, like, when you say Vincent Price, the first movie that comes to my mind is House on Haunted Hill.
That's mine, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ingrained in my mind as like that's Vincent Price. This is cheesy 50s horror. I love it. Like it is it for me. Like
and them two just working off each other.
Right.
So
like
good.
Even to the point. I mean, and this is whatever. But like last winter, I got the flu, and it was bad. Like I was one of the worst sick I'd been in a long time. And the first day it really hit me. Like I was going to bed like I have the flu. I'm going to bed. I feel like absolute dog shit. And I laid down in my bed, this very iPad right here that we record on. I propped it up like this on my bed. And the very first movie I turned on was House on Haunted Hill.
Like, and it made you feel better.
And it did. It made me feel better. Like,
it is. It's just like, for me, it's just like The Thing from Another Planet, where I smile the whole way through it. It's just so satisfying to watch this movie.
We're going to talk about that.
And the more I talk about it, the more I want to watch it. Like, I may watch it tonight.
We're going to talk about it here in a sec because it did not make my list. So, and I have feelings about it. So we're going to talk about that. So, all right. So, yeah, my number one is House on Haunted Hill.
All right, that brings me to my number one.
I know what it is because you haven't said it.
Yeah, and it is 1958 Terrence Fisher's Hammer horror, The Horror of Dracula.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely love it. We did the deep dive on it, so you want the review and how we feel about it, you can look at that or listen to that. But just,
it's so good.
Oh my gosh. The ending, I love the ending where he jumps up, Peter Cushing runs across the table and grabs the curtains off and pulls it off, and the sunshine hits him. I mean, it's everything I've ever wanted in a vampire movie, and more, and more.
It goes to show, because when we did the deep dive, we raved about Peter Cushing, like how, and you even said you used to look at this as a Christopher Lee movie, but now it's Peter Cushing movie.
It is a Peter Cushing movie to me.
To look at it, Peter Cushing in that versus what I said about Curse of Frankenstein, like he's kind of a piece of shit in that movie. Just the versatility from basically an action hero in Horror of Dracula versus what he is, and I mean his to where, and not that I'm knocking Vincent Price, but I had said earlier in this podcast that a lot of Vincent Price roles feel very similar.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I love that role.
Right.
To where Peter Cushing is so versatile between the two. And then The Mummy falls right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah. One of the greatest vampire movies of all time. If you've never seen it, you got to check it out. I can't talk highly enough about this movie. It's just one of my all-time favorites. 5 out of 5 howls. So I want to get you to go back and listen to our deep dive of it.
Yeah.
And really,
we walked through the whole thing.
It's so good. I highly recommend it. But
now, answer me this: before we did the deep dive, did you remember it as fondly as you do now? Like, or has the recent deep dive and the 5 howl rating skewed you a little bit? Like,
I think our deep dive added.
Yeah,
but it was already,
I do too.
It was already one of my favorites, but I think it did push it even higher, especially when I was watching it to take notes for our deep dive and just really paying attention to Peter Cushing, because like you mentioned, it was a Christopher Lee movie for me.
Yeah, but
after our deep dive, it became quickly a Peter Cushing movie. I mean, he is just so good. Not taking anything away from Christopher Lee. He's an awesome Dracula, obviously. Yep. But man,
Cushing steals the show.
He does.
Yeah. He is the draw there.
He is.
When you say that, though, it does feel like you're pulling from Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Because he does a fabulous job as Dracula.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
But
it's I guess it just goes to show how good Peter Cushing is.
Yeah, I mean, there. I don't think you could make Dracula 100 times and there'll never be a better Van Helsing than Peter Cushing. Never. I don't think it can get close.
I don't know how you could do it.
You know, I love Edward Van Sloan from the Universal Monsters, but it doesn't. It's not Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing is Van Helsing.
Peter Cushing in Horror of Dracula feels like they took Edward Van Sloan and Dr. Seward and Jonathan Harker from the original and just combined them into this one badass.
Yeah. And he is a badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made him a superhero, and to me, he is. I mean, I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm with. I mean, it was my number 3, so yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie. Well, I would, without looking back and referencing list, I would feel like the 50s definitely had our most crossover of any horror by the decades.
Definitely. And I think it's getting to the point where it's getting sparse on what we've seen.
Yeah. Fair.
You know,
fair.
Yeah,
like, I mean, there's a shit ton of like the thems, like the giant mutated bug movies that I haven't seen. So
the giant shrews and all those, and even looking at the lists, like I go to IMDb to look for the top 50 horror movies from the 50s.
That's what I do too.
And a lot of them I hadn't seen.
Yep.
I mean, I think there was 2 lists I saw where the number 1 I hadn't seen either one of them.
Yeah. There was one.
Diabolic.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I think it is a foreign film.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in a foreign language or not, but like there's a version, like it's called like Les Diaboliques, or there's just a Diabolic. But that one was high on a lot of lists, and I think it's on HBO Max, and like that was the next one I was going to watch if I had time.
I couldn't find it. That's why I didn't watch it.
I think it's on HBO Max.
Oh, it is? Damn. I do have HBO Max too.
But I didn't get to it, so that one was high. The Thing from Another World, I watched. It was one that I had never watched all the way through. Obviously, you get the intro panel on Halloween, like the kids are watching it.
Yeah.
So I had never watched it all the way through, and I started it a couple nights ago. I don't like it.
Oh, man.
I didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's it. Maybe I just didn't get far enough.
It is a slow burn in the beginning.
But when I'm crashing for this list, and like in my mind, based on what you've said, like this has to make the list.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching, it's like, to me, like this movie up to where I watched it is making the cardinal sin for a horror movie. It's boring. I'm just not feeling it. But I didn't even make it to the point where like the actual monster guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if we do a deep dive, I'm sure if I give it my full attention, I do that,
you're going to end up loving this movie. You're going to end up loving this movie. I know you will. And I know it seems boring. And it probably is boring, but for me, being a kid watching this movie, I'm probably 11 or 12 years old.
Right, and I didn't grow up with it.
All about it. And I saw both. I saw The Thing with Kurt Russell and this at virtually the same time, because both of them came with that Laserdisc set.
Yeah.
And The Thing came out, with Kurt Russell, 81? 82. So that's about the time we got that Laserdisc. So it was a brand new movie. Mm-hmm. And at the time of release, The Thing, the remake with Kurt Russell, was a disaster.
Right.
It was not highly regarded like it is today.
Right.
And I think that is why I like The Thing with Kurt Russell, but I mean, it's not even close for me.
Right.
I mean, it ain't even the same ballpark to being as good as The Thing from Another Planet.
So I had never, The Thing, the 80s, The Thing was a movie that had kind of slid under my radar for a long time, and I didn't see until a couple years ago for the first time.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but because I don't have that nostalgia growing up with it, I certainly wasn't like one of my favorite horror movies ever, like a lot of people say. So I think when we did the 80s horror by the decades, it was like number 6, number 7, or something like that. Like, I like it. I appreciate it, what it does, but I think, as is the case a lot of times, like, you need to have grown up with it to really have that attachment to it.
Well, I don't know, because I grew up with it, and
maybe not. Yeah,
I really didn't care for it.
Right,
and it's not. It's not my.
I like it.
I think I had it in my top 13 of the 80s. I think it was.
I don't know if you did.
If it was really, really high. Yeah, or maybe it was an honorable mention.
Maybe. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it wasn't I like it, but I don't love it. Like I know a lot of people, it's one of their top few favorite movies ever, and it's just not that for me. But so some future date when we do the thing from another world.
I think I can sway you into thinking this is a great movie.
I mean, if I have to watch the whole, because I didn't watch the whole thing. Like I turned it off halfway through and was like, this isn't going to make my list.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So we'll reconsider when the time comes.
That's my number 2. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
All right, fair enough.
I probably watched this movie 20 times.
Yeah.
From the ages of, I don't know, 11 or 12 to 15.
Right.
So that's like 3 or 4 times a year.
I totally get, like, you're talking to a guy who watched Witchboard like 40 times, and it made my top 13 80s horror movies. So I understand the whole nostalgia pool. But all right, well, that will do it. And again, like, I was worried after the 60s that every decade was going to get like that. It was just going to get harder and harder to fill a list, but the 50s was a little bit easier to fill out. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what the 30s I don't think will be too bad, because you got all those Universal monster things and there's other stuff. But then again, I know that I will definitely need to watch more to fill out the 40s, 30s, and then our discussion of the 20s.
I could, sitting here, I could probably rattle off my top 5 30s.
Yeah.
Favorite from the 30s, but
right.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah,
we may turn up the golden goose here,
right?
finding a movie that we've never seen before,
right? And that's been the kind of the fun part, really, of all of these is 70s, 60s. I don't think anything besides the 80s, or since the 80s, like 70s, 60s, 50s. There's been movies that made my list that I had never seen until we were prepping for the podcast.
Hell, The Night of the Hunter was on both our lists for the 50s, and
neither one of us had seen it.
No, I've never seen it before, and I was blown away.
Curse of the Demon, had you ever seen that?
I have seen it. I always get to the part where the guy runs off the road and hits the telephone pole, and that's the one, right? And the demon comes down. It's kind of weird looking.
Yeah.
And I need to watch it again.
It's not great. But interesting enough.
And I will say on honorable mentions, because I totally forgot about the movie, was The House of Wax. It would have been on my...
I didn't realize it wasn't on your list.
It wasn't on my list. I forgot about it. It would be on my list.
It was my number 4.
Yeah, I know. It would totally... Vincent Price, come on.
Wow.
And when you're talking about it, I'm like, I forget that.
That happened when we did the 90s, and I forgot Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Which made like number 5 on my favorite zombie movies ever. And I forgot it on my 90s list. But yeah, the House of... That was the one that just blew up my list.
Yeah,
like so good.
There was one last week or the 60s that was like that. Oh, Spider Baby.
Spider Baby, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Yeah.
This
like,
episode.
it just blew up my list. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, our lists are no good because Rich forgot House of Wax. Now, the 2000s remake with Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
I remember that movie kind of sucking.
Yeah, it was bad.
But, you know what? We haven't talked about it on here, but I had an idea for future quick cuts topics. A series called Remake Roulette, where we randomly select a different remake and compare the remake to the original.
Oh, yeah.
And House of Wax would fall into there. So when that time comes, we'll wait till we're done with Horror by the Decades and stuff, but that will be something coming later. Well, that will do it for our ranking of the 50s. That was a good one. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I really enjoyed watching these movies. So, and I'm excited to get into the 40s, because I think the 40s is going to be one where I need to, like, obviously you got the Wolfman and stuff like that, but after the Wolfman's like, what the fuck came out in the 40s? So there may be some research, but we do have the benefit of knowing that the next Quick Cuts will not be a Horror by the Decade. So next week will be my pick for a horror movie deep dive review, Christmas themed, Halloween themed, Christmas themed, And it is going to be the OG Black Christmas from 1974. Bob Clark. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. So that's going to be next time. And then the following episode is going to be the last episode of the year. Let me check the date here. That episode will release on New Year's Eve, December 31st. So that is going to be our Never Not Horror year in review.
Nice.
We're going to look at some statistics, just nerd out a little bit about what we've done since August when we launched Never Not Horror.
I'd like to talk about has my favorite horror movies in general changed since we've done this.
I mean, there's so much to look at, just fun stats about the show, like looking at like movies that we had the highest ranking of or the lowest ranking of, or like the biggest difference in opinion between me and Rich, and biggest surprises. There's so much we can talk about. So the next quick cuts will be our year in review. So that'll be fun. And then we'll roll right into 2026. So if you enjoyed the show, please like, rate, review, do what you do. Support the show on your podcast platform of choice. If you want some Never Not Horror merch, go to nevernothorror.dashery.com and you can pick up some stuff. We got mugs, we got shirts, we got art prints, which Rich has hanging in the studio. They look pretty good. I like them.
Yeah,
they look pretty damn good. So there's stuff you can check out there. If you want to support us outside of the show, go to youtube.com and search for Rich Hansel. You will find his YouTube channel, all the action figure unboxing goodness. If you want to support my books, go to steveclarkbooks.com. You can buy signed copies from my shop. You can find links to Amazon. I haven't updated the website in a while, but I need to. And like I said, I've said previously, 2026 will be the comeback year for Steve L. Clark Books. I'm going to have at least 2 releases. Guaranteed.
Awesome.
Guarantee it. So, do all those things. Again, thank you as we're coming down to the end of the year here.
Thank you so much.
We'll do an official thank you thing. We've got some top fans I want to recognize, some stuff we haven't talked about, but we do. I mean, we definitely appreciate. Get on Facebook, go to the page, comment your list, tell us what you think about the movies we review. We love the interaction. But, I mean, I'm having a blast. I'm having a great time doing this show. Rich is having a great time doing this show.
I love it.
It's so good. So, we appreciate everything. We're coming down to the end of the year. I'm feeling a little sentimental here. But, come back next week, and whatever it is, it's never not horror.
Oh, yeah.
Slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.